Howdy friends, today we're going to take a look at a brand new expandable travel backpack. This is the ARC I from PAKKABLE. I think this bag does a lot of things extremely well. There's a couple of quirks to this bag that may be deal breakers for some, but you know how we do it here on this channel. We'll do a full walkthrough. I'm gonna share my experience of what it's been like using this bag. I've had it since about the end of January. And then at the end of the video, we'll do a full pack out to show you exactly what I packed into this bag, what it fits, and how I actually used it. As always, there's chapter markers down below if you need to skip ahead, but let's start unpacking all of the details of the ARC I from PAKKABLE. So the company and brand that is PAKKABLE might be new to some of you, but they've actually been around since 2022. Now they're based out of Switzerland, but this bag here is actually constructed by the Bag Me team in Vietnam. Now that name might ring a bell because that's also the same manufacturer that's making the Firo bags for Aaron at Nomad's Nation. And they're also producing the minimal bag brands as well, the M38 and the M20, which I'll have a video coming soon on that one as well. So from an aesthetic standpoint, PAKKABLE chose to go with the conservative, clean, sleek look. This bag stands up extremely well on its own as well. So I'm not mad at that conservative choice to go here because in a travel backpack, I don't like to draw a lot of attention to myself. So I like that. And also since this is an expandable travel backpack, you can expand it, use it for your travel, and then zip it up and close it up if you're traveling for business and bring this into the office. So the really clean, sleek look, really respectable, and I love that it stands up extremely well on its own. One thing I really liked about the ARC I is its simplicity in actually using the bag. I just got done testing the Air Travel Pack 4 and the Rework Outbound Travel Backpack as well. And if you're familiar with those bags layouts, you know that they have the admin compartment here, you have the main compartment zipper here, then you have the top quick access compartment, and then also the back laptop compartment. So you have a series of like 4 zipper tracks all in a row. And I found that sometimes, a lot of times, that when I'm trying to get into the admin section of the backpack, I would accidentally open the main compartment, and vice versa. I would accidentally open the main compartment when I'm trying to get into the front admin compartment. So having one single zipper track to get into the interior here, very simple to use, no confusion. I know when I reach for this zipper that I was going for the main compartment every single time. So jumping into the interior of this bag, we have this beautiful custom ripstop liner on the inside of this bag. It is this beautiful brown, like mocha color, not quite a coyote brown. I'm not quite sure how well it picks it up on camera, but I would compare it to like a nice cup of coffee with some creamer in it. Beautiful mocha color. Now, this is a 75 by 150D ripstop nylon, so very durable material. And of course, again, the color is just awesome. And as you can already tell, this is a full clamshell backpack, which we love to see in a travel backpack. On the inside of the main bucket here, very simple layout, no additional pockets besides this slip stretch pocket on the back. We have a little bit of branding up top that says PAKKABLE, the only way is your way. And on the opposite side of the beaver tail here, we have our traditional 2-pocket layout. This bottom one is that stretchier Darlington mesh pocket, so you can fit bulkier items in there. And this one is just more ripstop material. Now, there's no internal organization in either one of those pockets. 2 simple dump pockets here to complement the big bucket of the main compartment. Now, when it comes to the external features of this bag, we do have 3 outer zipper compartments. We have these 2 side pockets that zip out, and they have this Darlington mesh here that allows this pocket to expand a little bit. Now you can use them for umbrellas, water bottles, and also as a quick access pocket, which is what I typically did for at least one of them. Now, even though it looks pretty slim, I'm still able to get a 26-ounce Yeti Rambler in a fully packed out bag. That's probably the biggest bottle you're gonna be able to go with. Now, this is one of the reasons I've transitioned into using an 18-ounce bottle because it just fits better in far more backpacks, but 26-ounce Yeti Rambler, I kind of go back and forth whether I like these pockets or not. They're functional and I love being able to use them and zip them up for quick access, but from an aesthetic and just visual standpoint, I don't think I like it very much with the zipper pocket hanging out open and then this brown or this mocha color kind of just hanging out in front of this bag too. It's just, I don't know, from an aesthetic standpoint, I just don't really vibe with it, but I do like the functionality of being able to zip it up and use it as a quick access pocket. So I'm not quite sure where I land yet on these pockets, but they're functional and I do like them, but aesthetically probably not my favorite choice. Now, besides these 2 zippered pockets, we also have this front zippered access pocket here. This is going to be your admin compartment. It reminds me a lot of the EVERGOODS Civic travel bag line. On the inside, you do have some organization. I'll try to do my best to get that on camera. You have a stretch zippered pocket here on one side, and just a simple drop in on the other side that is stretchy as well. And at the very top and back is where you're gonna have your smart tracker right here. This is where you can slip in your AirTag. Maybe a different size tracker might be able to fit in there, but it's well hidden deep down in there. And then of course you also have a place for your keys with this key leash. So the last compartment is going to be the laptop and tech area, which I think is going to be the most controversial part of this entire bag. It's actually located in the back panel below the shoulder strap. So to get into this tech compartment, you're going to have to flip and rip. That's what I've been calling it. You're going to have to flip and then rip to get into the laptop section there. So you can see in real time, it doesn't actually take that much time. But one thing I learned from this channel is that so many people have an obsession with quick laptop access. And I'll be honest with you, that's something that I truly will never understand, why I need lightning quick access to the laptop. But I recognize that I am definitely in the majority. You guys love quick access to the laptop area, and y'all have made that well known. I've said it on multiple videos, I just never been in a situation where I've needed to get to my laptop in a split second. I think another reason why this doesn't bother me as much is because I'm a GoRuck guy, and anybody who's used GoRuck bags know that the laptop section is also located underneath the shoulder straps. Now the GoRuck has the advantage of being able to access the laptop from the side area, especially if you use a smaller one, so you don't really have to flip the straps every time. But I normally do, so I can have full access. So this is a process that I'm not totally unfamiliar with, and something that I do on a regular basis anyway. But I can easily recognize that having to flip the straps to get into the laptop section could be annoying over time for many of you. And there's no other way to do it. You're gonna have to flip the straps because the laptop section is accessible only from the top. So unlike the GoRuck, you won't be able to slide your computer in from the side and not have to undo the straps. You will have to flip the straps every single time. So this is a wood cutout of a 16-inch MacBook Pro. This is the biggest laptop you're gonna get in here. Now this laptop section is fully suspended off the bottom, so that's nice. But you can tell with this MacBook Pro, it's riding against the binding here. Let me get to the top cam. It's riding against the binding here, so that's about as tight as you're gonna get right there. Now it does have a nice material on the back, very soft to the touch, so it's gonna protect your device, and this is all nicely padded as well. Now on the front of this compartment, I do have a 3D printout of a iPad Pro 13-inch. Now this is the biggest you're gonna be able to get in there, and keep in mind there is no case, no keyboard, but that's gonna max out that tablet compartment there. Again, suspended off the bottom, both compartments, about a nice inch, 2 inches there off the bottom. Since this is a full clamshell opening tech compartment, you do have some pockets on this side here and some stretchy pockets on here as well. Now, since we're looking at the back panel here, we'll get that zippered up. We have a nicely well padded, well ventilated back panel with a vertical luggage pass-through. Now you may notice that this is a super thick luggage pass-through, and the reason for that is underneath there we have a hidden security pocket there. A great place for your wallet and your passport, a feature that I love on a travel backpack. Now moving over to the harness system here, it is a yoke style harness like what you would find on the EVERGOODS travel bags as well. And you have some J-shaped straps with an adjustable, removable sternum strap. And it's featuring this Wuben center push buckle here. I think the official name is a Magic center push buckle here. I really like this buckle. So the material on the underside of the straps here is a super soft neoprene style material. It's really nice. It's gonna be soft on the skin. So if you're wearing a tank top or a muscle shirt, really soft on the skin. They've even wrapped it around here to the sides of the strap. So the part that makes contact with your straps is gonna be very soft on your skin. Since we're on the back panel, let's talk about this bag's comfort. They chose to go with a really soft and plush padding here. It's a nice thickness, but it has a lot of give to it. It's really sponge-like feeling. It's not thick like you would find like EVA foam, I would imagine. So what I noticed that under a full load, a travel setup, after about 20 minutes or so, it felt like the padding had been fully exhausted, and I started to feel myself kind of shuffle the weight of the bag a little bit. So I think I would have liked something a little bit more firmer to hold up under the weight of an entire fully loaded bag. So it's just something to keep in mind. And I typically wear my bags for a lot longer because I walk with them every day. Like I said, once I hit about that 20-minute mark, I kind of felt myself having to adjust the shoulder straps a little bit. And I did feel that we exceeded the overall capacity of this foam padding, like it just completely flattened out. So if I was forced to put this bag's comfort on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it about an 8. Not terrible by far, it's actually pretty comfortable, but I would have liked to see a little bit more stiffer padding here to support a heavy loaded backpack. So the primary material here on this bag is an 840D Cordura ballistic nylon that has a polycarbonate coating. So I love the fact that we're using some name brand material, and that polycarbonate coating is going to give you a fair amount of weather resistance. Now when it comes to the other components of this bag, is YKK zippers throughout, the best zippers in the game, and then all of your plastic bits, including your sternum strap, your strap adjusters, even your plastic little dangle stoppers here, everything's going to be Wuben plastic hardware. So they did choose to put a PU coated or this AquaGuard zipper on the main compartment, but only on the main compartment. So everything else has regular zippers, including the laptop section. So don't really understand that decision. But what I can say about this PU coated zipper on the main compartment is that it is super smooth. They went with the smaller number 8 zipper, so I think that's partly the reason why. But also it has a nice zipper track, nice and uniform. There's no crazy curves that it has to conquer. So one of the easiest AquaGuard zippers I've ever used on a bag. So rounding out the exterior, we have a nice top carry grab handle that is well padded, nice foam in there. It is the only padded handle anywhere on this bag, so there's going to be nowhere else to maneuver this bag. No side handles, no bottom handle, anything like that. The last feature of the exterior is going to be that expansion feature. The expansion zipper is located along the back, and it's super simple to expand this bag. When you get to the bottom section of this bag, I can put it right here, we do have this like Hyperlon material here, and I think that's to protect the zipper track when it's not in use, so it folds over the zipper track. But as you expand the bag, you can see we get a full like 2 inches of expansion, which is kind of wild for a bag in this size range. So expanding this bag to its full capacity, we're gonna go from 28 liters up to 32 liters. And I will say that this is one of the few expandable travel backpacks that I've actually used where that volume is felt immediately. That 2 inches of expansion, man, it makes a huge difference in the main compartment. So just in case you're wondering, the dimensions of this bag is 28 liters and it's just over the personal item allowance unexpanded, but I have it packed out at about 80% full. And you can probably get it to go if you pack it a little less into the personal item sizer boxes. It's kind of where it's stopping here because of the shoulder straps, but it's not personal item size, but I think you could definitely get away with it in the US, at least personal item size. And now fully expanded, probably not so much. So depending on your tolerance for risk, that's going to be up to you. But I think in the US, you'll be perfectly fine using this as a personal item, in my opinion. So currently at the time of filming, this bag is only available in the one material and color option, that is the black Cordura ballistic nylon. Now it is going to retail for $190 USD, but it's important to note that that is the all-in price. That is to your door, landed at your doorstep, $190. I think that is such a boss move to bring this feature-rich backpack to the market sub $200. And just based off of my experience, I can easily see where this bag could cost $240, $250. So I definitely think when I'm looking at the cost to value ratio, it's definitely in the customer's favor here in this case. Time for some pros and some cons, some things I liked and some things I wish could have been done a little bit better. The number one pro for me is definitely going to be the expandable feature of this backpack. It's super simple and easy to implement, and you get 2 inches of actual usable volume. Now, I've had the pleasure of testing a few expandable bags here on the channel, and I think this is definitely one of the best ones as far as implementation and getting actual usable volume from the expansion feature. Another thing I really liked about this bag is that custom mocha color interior of the inside. I love this color. A lot of bag brands are going safer route with that gray, standard gray. Air's using it, Rework's using it, a bunch of brands are using gray. That's all fine, but having a nice custom color interior, it adds a little bit to the premium factor of this bag because it's nice, it feels premium, and also you get a dust cover in the exact same, that mocha brown material, this ripstop material here. So it's a nice little touch to the overall premiumness feeling of this bag, of this custom interior liner, and also the matching dust cover. And lastly, the one thing I really appreciated about this backpack is the cost to value ratio. I think for $190, you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. And like I said, that's $190 landed, and what you get in return is a fully functional expandable travel backpack and the best materials and highest quality. I just think that has to be listed as a pro. For 190 bucks, I think that this is a stellar bag. Now, no bag is perfect, and there are some cons to this bag. The number one call out for me is going to have to be the laptop accessibility. While it wasn't a direct issue for me, I can easily see where the flip and rip method might get annoying for some users out there. The second thing about this compartment for me especially is the tech area. I don't like to put my tech directly across from my laptop and tablet here because they smash into each other, so it's not my favorite implementation of a laptop section. The number 2 con for me is going to be this bag's overall depth when it's fully packed out and expanded. It can clock in at over 11 inches in depth. So I know that that's one of the trade-offs from using expandable backpacks, right? They always expand this way and never this way. But I do believe this bag is a little short. It's under 19 inches. I think if we would have went up a little bit in height, we could have brought in the depth a little bit and not feel so much like a Ninja Turtle. So if this backpack were a little teapot, I definitely think it's short and stout. Now, because of that 11.5 inches I measured when it's fully packed out, I found myself getting caught on doors, in and out of doorways, kind of knocking people around a little bit. So just something to be aware of. If you're fully maximizing this pack, it can get quite chunky. And lastly, this is purely aesthetic for me, but it did bug me, is having this brown or mocha material stick out while I had my bottle in the pocket there. While I like the functionality of being able to zip these pockets up and use them for quick access and other things, it just kind of bugged me the way the bottle sat there and protruded from the bag with this brown sticking out. Now, if you're using like an umbrella or something like that, it fits in there nice and it zips up quite nice. But that's something I typically travel with. And this is just a fully aesthetic con for me, but it did bug me the way that this brown material stuck out and the way this bottle just sat here. Just felt it took away from the overall cleanliness and sleekness of this bag in general. Okay, for some final thoughts on the ARC I travel backpack from PAKKABLE, I think that this is one of the best implementations of a travel backpack that I've experienced in quite some time. Being able to have that usable volume is clutch, especially if you're traveling smaller out and you're bringing souvenirs back, you need to expand a little bit. I think that's going to be a great option for you. And the overall sleekness to it, again, if you're using this for like a business travel situation, you can expand it to travel and then retract it in a little bit and bring it into those meetings, into that office. And with an all-in price of $190, I definitely feel that this is one of the most heavy feature quality bags, sub $200, that I've seen on the market in quite some time. But as always, I would love to know your thoughts and opinions on the ARC I travel backpack from PAKKABLE. How do you feel about the flip and rip method of getting into the laptop area? I think that this is going to be controversial to a lot of people. Like I said, not a huge issue for me. I didn't like the implementation here of the tech compartment, but getting into the laptop compartment itself, not that big of an issue. But of course, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, before we pack this bag out, if you have any more questions about this bag, definitely ask them in the comment section below. The goal of this channel is to always help you find the right gear for you. Okay, before we load this bag out, I want to talk briefly about the Westbreeze packing cube system. I mentioned them on my rework video, but I love these packing cubes so much. I'm going to do a full video, but I wanted to bring them up here and show them to you. They are your traditional compression style packing cube, like what you would find from Peak Designs. But the secret sauce to these is they're actually a whole entire hanging closet system. So when you undo the zipper, you actually have a hook on the inside here where you can hook up into a closet, into the back of a door, or in a bathroom, hanging from the towel rack. You can actually hook your packing cube up here and you have your entire system. So when I have 2 pairs of pants, a pair of shorts, and 3 t-shirts here, then I have a gym shirt and a gym short on this side on the top part here. Now this can easily hang up and become your mobile closet. You can zipper these down to get access to your full gear, pack them out as normal. But again, this is an entire system, so I have my 5 days of socks and underwears in this packing cube here. And when you open this up, it has connection points at the top here where I can clip my socks and underwears to my main packing cube here, the large one. So it clips in with the same magnetic Wuben push buckles that are on the sternum strap of the bag. Now you can have this entire like hanging closet, socks and underwears, all my clothes. I mean, you can keep adding stuff. There's a dirty bag that comes with it. Whole system. Love these packing cubes. I'm going to put a link down in the description, so if you're interested in those, definitely check those out. Don't wait for my review. Just click the link and check them out. I love these packing cubes. Now with the tech area, I mentioned I have the 16-inch MacBook Pro cutout and the 3D print of the 13-inch iPad Pro. That's what I loaded in the tech. I didn't actually use the tech compartment area like I mentioned in my cons section. I don't like my charging bricks and power banks pushing against my devices. So this is how I actually packed out this bag when I traveled. I used a little bit smaller computer with the 14-inch MacBook Pro, but that's just to demonstrate the overall sizes. So that's all I loaded in the tech compartment here. Now, once you get that zippered up, you do have that secret compartment on the back side of this luggage pass-through. And that is a place where I chose to put my wallet and passport. So it is about the size of this pocket here. and if you're carrying a couple of passports, it will easily fit down in there. And if you have a smaller, slimmer wallet, like this is my EVERGOODS Element card wallet, it fits in there with the passport as well. Zippers up, nice and hidden behind the luggage pass-through. So I don't have this bag expanded right now, and you can see that it still has a very generous main compartment. So I can put my large Westbreeze packing cube down at the bottom, and I still have wiggle room on the side. You can probably keep stuff in this to maximize the space, but I just limited it to one packing cube there. And then a smaller packing cube. This is the medium Westbreeze packing cube with my socks and underwears up at the top. And since that one's a little bit more shallow, I still have room here to put my Gravel Slim toiletry kit. I love this toiletry kit. I've used it ever since I started this channel. It's what I actually use. I love that it can hang as well, just like my packing cubes. I can hang it up in the bathroom. And then in the main compartment, I actually had to pack my over-the-ear headphones, and I'll explain why in just a second, but this is where I had to put my headphones. On the opposite side of the beaver tail, as you guys know, I don't ever use this pocket on any bag because it's always competing for volume here, but I did use the top pocket to put my med kit. Now I featured this many times on the channel. Just my little boo-boo kit. I got Tylenol, Band-Aids, Tums, Advil, little things you might need on a trip and don't want to make a trip to the pharmacy. That easily fits in that top pocket there. And this is how I loaded out the main compartment. So when you have the main compartment fully loaded, the front admin section here becomes incredibly tight. You lose a lot of that volume. So you can still fit some items in there like my keys. I'll put those down in there. But utilizing the stretch pocket and the zipper pocket become pretty tight. Also getting into the AirTag area is pretty tight, so that's probably something you should probably do before you pack the entire bag out. But you can stick your AirTag up at the top there. Now, how I chose to utilize this section here is with my Cap 1. This is where I have all the tech, my power banks and stuff, and cords, cables. This is what I would need for a trip. I like the form factor. It keeps it pretty thin, and it's easily managed here on the inside of this pocket. It slides in. I still don't have to expand the backpack, and that's why I chose to go with the route of the Cap 1 instead of trying to utilize some of that internal storage. Again, it's just only 2 pockets there anyway. So I've got this thing fully packed out for an entire week's worth of travel, and you still have the zipper pockets on the outside. And like I mentioned earlier, this is the 26-ounce Yeti Rambler. It will fit down in the water bottle pocket, very nice, but that's the absolute biggest bottle you're gonna be able to get in there. Again, visually, aesthetically, not my favorite implementation of a pocket, but it is what it is. I did use the other side as a quick access pocket since we don't have that typical one you have up top here. So this is where I chose to throw like my cell phone when going through security, sunglasses, chapstick, things I want quicker access to. A smaller power bank can also go in there, and you can still zip that up. If you're traveling with an umbrella, the umbrella fits in there very nicely as well. If you made it this far in this video, thank you so much for sticking around to the end. If you like this video and you want to see more like it, please consider hitting like and subscribe, as that directly supports me and the channel. I want to say thank you to PAKKABLE for sending the ARC 1 out for me to test and review. And if you have any more questions about this bag, anything at all, ask it down in the comment section below. The goal of this channel is to always help you find the right gear for you. Now, if you like the feature set of this bag, but it quite wasn't for you, I would recommend checking out the TomTalk T77, which I've done a full review, and you can find that video right here. And maybe also take a look at the Air Travel Pack 4. I think these are similar bags with a lot of the same feature sets, so not quite expandable, but maybe take a look at those if this one wasn't the one for you. Anyway, thank you for supporting today's video, and I can't wait to see you on the next one.